Alright, for SOVA, I used to play B with SOVA, so what I would do at the start of the round is I would just insta jump and shoot that dart. This somehow always gets a tick. People literally, even like 6 rounds deep, it'll still get a tick. Like people just are too lazy to like move their crosshair up and shoot it. But like if they start to shoot it instantly, then I'll throw that one like on the back of the wall. And if they start to shoot that one, then I'll get in this corner and I'll line the tip of my dart with the bottom left corner of the smallest box, and then I'll 3-charge.
Revealing area.
But it'll take this one takes like a while to land, and it lands on top of this thing, which is really hard to shoot, and it'll get most people because you have to like look up and shoot. So that one's a really good arrow, but it lands pretty late. So those are arrows I use for just scouting long. But when I'm on site and I feel like they're about to hit, or they're like hitting you, and you still have your dart, you should save your dart for when people start to execute, because if you just waste it long and they shoot it and they start executing, you're fucked. So if they start executing on you, it's like smoking out shit, then you can throw. I throw this dart and just insta go here, which is kind of risky, and then I just start spamming whoever comes out. Like long, I just start spamming. I think there's a safer way to do it that I learned. I think it's like,
area.
Yeah, it's like that. If you just one bounce and shoot in the middle of the sign, then you can do it safer if you're playing it in the crate. This dart's actually insane when they're executing, because literally nobody is jumping out hookah and fucking going like this to shoot your dart. The only time people will break it is when they come out long, but even then they're worried about like like smoke push and shit. So like no one's coming out and doing this. So this dart literally always gets 3 scans. No one's ever shot this dart. For shock darts on default, you basically, I think you find this wall in CT, and right when you see it, like right here, you just move up. I think you just move up till you're like the top of this. I mean, it doesn't matter where you stand, like just kind of like, you have to eye it, but like it has to be kind of close to the thing. And you 1 bounce and then 2 charge, I think. And then I think that lands perfectly on default. Okay, not really, but kind of. So you basically have to find that wall by like, you could just see it, and then just go up and shoot at the bottom wire, and then bounce it once. I mean, that'll probably do like 80 damage. It doesn't matter, honestly. Okay, this is the one I use a lot. I literally every time I play blind, I only use my shock darts for this. Like I wait for them to start coming up short, and if they're hitting A, I pre-shoot these arrows so it gets default. Because I'm addicted to shooting like long ass arrows. It's just funny to me if I got a kill. Basically the lineup is you go in the middle of this box, and then the left bar again, the top left corner of the far left bar, you wanna edge it into this corner basically. So right there is where you want to hit your top left like line bar or whatever the fuck. The top left corner wants to go to that corner right there, and then you 3-charge and 3-charge. And I'll land. For B, you can just shoot this one. That's what I do. That's the most common one. Or if you think they're in the container, then you can just shoot this one, which will get everybody in the container. Like they can't hide from it. So you can walk up, I guess, with it if you're really confident no one's is here or whatever. But this one won't get here because they can just probably crouch it. Shock dart. If you somehow are CT and they start planning, if you just like look at the top right corner where this line is and this line, and you just like single fire, 1 bounce, Or if you look above it, like this corner, this dark bottom right corner, and then you one bounce, it'll land default perfectly.
Revealing area.
If you somehow are CT while they're playing, which almost never happens though. Actually, I've actually seen Shazam get a lot of kills doing it, because Shaz plays behind SOVA, and he actually gets a lot of kills doing these shock darts. In clutch situations like 1v1s, he'll get a kill doing that, so. Wait, there's one arrow I use for hookah too. Is I'll go in this corner, aim at like basically this corner, but a little left to it.
Revealing area.
And then it lands on top of this thing, it should. If you want to fight mid, if someone's like hiding here and shit. If you want to fight mid, but you should like run out with the arrow, if that makes sense. So you should shoot it, because if you let it go, they're just gonna shoot it instantly, like right when it drops. So you should just shoot it, and then like actually just fight with it, because people are gonna be worried about shooting the arrow instead of shooting you. Okay, BATTACK is like the best part about SOVA. Basically, you want to get hookah control. That's the most important thing, because that's where I throw all my arrows from. There's a lot of shit you can do. If you have control of this area, the best dart to do is where all this like dark shit is on the wall. You just shoot a little to the right of it, like head level almost,
Revealing area.
and it'll get everything on sight. Like no one can hide from this dart. You can't hide here. I guess you can hide here, but everyone on your team is gonna see this person. You can't hide inside here.
Revealing area.
You literally can't hide from it here. You can't hide backside from it, because it lands to the right of that. So it gets actually everything on sight. It just won't get like back there or back there. So if you throw that arrow and someone's playing in the crate, you can just get ready to spam them, because you can spam this whole crate. Also, if you think someone's in the crate and if you don't have your arrow, then you can just take out your shock dart, and you don't have to peek elbow. You just go until you're not peeking elbow. And then if you think he's on this side of the crate, you can one charge off that bottom right corner of the green box. Full charge. And that doesn't seem like it'll do a lot of damage, but it actually does. It lands, people will play like right here and it lands right there, so it does full damage. And I always comboed it. I've actually gotten like many kills doing this. Is I'll just shock dart once, one bounce, and then people on the left side will move to the right side because they don't want to get shock dart again, and then you double bounce right after. So you one bounce and then two bounce, and then it'll kill them. Because they'll move like right there. If I think somebody's cubby, or if I'm just like guessing, or if I darted and they broke it from cubby and they don't want to move because they don't want to peek, you could just come in the back of hookah and one bounce, and then you could stand anywhere back here, and then just as long as it's back left, and then you just want to shoot at the top right of that green arrow basically with one bounce, and it'll land perfectly.
Revealing area.
Like this will do 90 damage to someone, and they can't peek wide like this because your teammates will be holding them from long. If you want to dart for your team long, like if they have octagon,
Right here.
if they're playing all octagon and your team is long and you want to help them, then you could just shoot like at the eye or anywhere. It doesn't really matter, except don't shoot like just anywhere here. Just shoot, and then it'll get into long. If you're rotating and you're ready CT and they start hitting it, then you can go on this corner or whatever, and then just take out your arrow, and then when you press Q, you have like a little arrow right here down below, like with your left click, right click, and then you have a little arrow. You want to do the left diagonal line, like meet it with that flat part, except a little up and like up from it, so like right there, and then you do two charge. And then that lands default too. And for retake arrows, I don't really have much. I feel like they're all like self self-explanatory. You just shoot off a wall if you want to clear close cubby and like kind of U-haul. I feel like that one is probably like the best though, because it clears cubby and it'll get the close U-haul, and it's like hard to run from the first tick, and it'll get like most of deep short, but it won't get like right here. It won't get like right here, that cubby. For shower, there's like a cheese thing you can do if you have a brim. You can tell them to smoke the end of this and just run up with a Odin. I used to do this in the beginning of ranked. I would literally just run up right off spawn, and this will be smoked, and I'll just full charge off the back of the wall and just sit here and just spam everybody or spam through the wall to be safer. Also, if you have an Odin and you think they're all short, you can just sit here waiting for their execute, and then when they just start, like at the very beginning of their execute, like they just throw their smokes down, then you could just throw that dart and come here and then just spam the whole line of short with that. To dart long from A to get like long B info for your team. Okay, you line up the slant of your left diamond, or the right diamond, the left side of the slant with the like this slant right here. It's like this, and then you 3 charge and they'll land on the sign. I used to throw that arrow every round when I used to play SOVA on A, and it'll land there for your team, which will get everybody. I think it even gets people hiding here because it's really high up on the sign, so they can't hide from it at all. Nothing A attack. There's nothing you can do. There's no lineups you need. You just shoot one off this wall if you're just taking A and you think someone's playing close, or right here in these corners, and you can shoot that. But if you're already up here and you're taking sight with your team, I always just shoot this one. There's like not much more you can do. That one's good because you just have to, it gets everybody back sight and they have to turn around and look up to shoot it. Honestly, you could even throw it like way higher if you wanted, like up there, because that one's hard to shoot. But I don't have lineups for it because you don't really need a lineup for that. Like, you can literally just walk up and do it. Like, I can literally do it from right here. I'm not smoked out. If I'm smoked off, I can still see this. So I don't need to be like fancy with it. I don't need to like be all the way back here and do some like stupid lineup, you know? You could just eye it and shoot it full charge. The only shock dart I have is for like oppers who are holding the right side. The only shock dart I have is one bounce, like not peeking him, but one bounce full charging off that slant, and it'll hit them. That's the only shock darts I have for this. If there's an opper there, holding this, like holding this shit, then it'll hit this wall and hit them. As an attacker, if you want to get showers early, you just have to mind game them. Like shoot a double bounce like that, so it's harder to shoot if you want to take showers control fast. One bounce, and then just like a normal dart right there. You have to change it up every time, because there's a lot of brimstones who insta smoke this at the start and you can't take showers. But if you dart for your teammates running up, like you have to do it in like stupid ways, just unexpected ways. God SOVA ults. I guess when you have SOVA ult, what I like to do is play rotator on CT. So I'll literally, if I have ult, I'll literally just sit here. I'll just sit here because everything on mine is like a small ass choke point, like a long small choke point. You know what I mean? Like hookah is pretty long, long is fucking long, and A short is pretty long. So it's all little choke points. So I'll try to tell my team to get info from me early, and then if they all go A, so if they're all grouped A and they just smoke the site, I'll literally just ping for myself and insta ult down the whole lane while looking at my map. And so if you just shoot in the middle like this, you'll hit someone guaranteed. If they're hitting A and there's 4 short, you'll hit some of them guaranteed. And if they're all hookah, you can just come up and then just shoot this. But you have to ping it so you know like what level to aim at. Or if they're all long, if you somehow have info that they're like all long, or you're playing B before the round starts, you arrow and you see them all long, and your team is spotting like right here, And right when he sees someone, you just insta ult, and then you'll probably hit like 3 people in this line. So anywhere that's just small ass chokes. And I think those are the only arrows I use for this map.